So one other useful administrative feature to explain is the concept of a webhook. So what is a webhook? A webhook is a way for us to integrate with either a marketing automation system or really any system, any piece of software, to notify them when some event has happened in our system. So this is usually good for, say, fulfillment conversations where you're asking someone to sign up for a product or approve some change. It would be unrealistic to expect the SMS Gateway to say to sort of determine if that fulfillment is successful, or say, do some sort of deep configuration with your systems. But what we can do is, as the conversation progresses, allow you to specify specific nodes of a conversation that you would like to alert some other system have occurred. So let's go through that process, and then we can talk about kind of how that would work. So as an administrator, if you visit the settings page, you'll be presented with a webhooks menu. This is where you can add a number of webhooks. There's no limit that the system is aware of, and it can test and it can use as a basis for delivery and integration. So here, for example, although I wouldn't recommend it, and I'm sure Google doesn't love it, you can use google.ca, for example, as the destination for webhook. So what this would mean is the SMS Gateway will send details of the events to the particular endpoint listed here when it occurs. If we go to the flowcharts, and I'll go back to my test flowchart, we can now specify that this flowchart is going to work with a particular webhook. In this case, the webhook endpoint will be google.ca. But you can put any endpoint in here, whatever works for your system. A common thing people do is set up a dynamic JavaScript page in Adobe Campaign. And that is a very good endpoint to receive calls from our system to determine some logic, or even just to note events. From there, within my tree, I can then go ahead and set a particular node as something I want to be alerted by and have that notify some other system. So it's very much an integration pattern of sort of, don't call me, I'll call you. So right there, I went into the node in question. And when I specify the webhook, you'll see that you get a little hook icon. I could add it to every node or not, it's optional. In this case, I'll say like google.ca and save. If I edit, you can see here there's the enable webhook option. And as each node is added to a webhook, you see the hook icon appears. So what this means is when some user says, say, welcome, and then they reply with test, they will be sent a call. In this case, google.ca would be sent a call indicating that some phone number has reached this node at this moment in time. This is what we've said in response, and this is what they said to us. So this could be used for things like fraud. So an example use case is perhaps you notice some odd behavior or an odd purchase or something that is irregular for this user. You could have a message being sent via SMS to say, hey, was this you that made this purchase? If they reply yes, then there's no concern and we don't have to really do much. But perhaps there was some sort of fraudulent event or some activity wasn't what we expected. We could send a webhook back to, say, your order fulfillment system and say, this person has indicated this fraud, or this wasn't them. Don't take action. Another use case could be perhaps determining eligibility. So perhaps there's a survey and a number of questions to determine if someone is eligible for a product or some promotion. And as they complete the conversation and they get to the end and we've determined that they are eligible, we can send a webhook back to Adobe Campaign and set them up into either a follow-up table or a follow-up SMS so that they can be sent specific details. One integration pattern I'm seeing right now is actually then using the details of that success to go ahead and create a mobile wallet card and sending that mobile wallet card back to the user. But it allows us very much to integrate with other systems in a real-time fashion, as opposed to what you might traditionally do, which is you constantly ask our system for details of if something has happened. Instead, we tell you when some event you want has happened. Subscribe to that.
For more information, visit us at munvo.com or email us at info@munvo.com.